Evening everyone, and welcome here to round 2 of the 2021 season. We're here at Phoenix International Raceway. This race held the second round of the championship last year. Eric DeMax took back-to-back victories in the 2020 season. DeMax has yet to win a race since then, and he's in the 4 car. He'll start mid-pack, but coming into this event, the 48 Cody Lamas is the championship leader by default after winning the Great American Race last weekend. Congratulations to Lamas on doing that. He has been buzzing all weekend. Daytona 500 champion. That'll do it to you. The 2019 Daytona 500 champion, Chris Dodd, took the Tag Heuer Pole Award for this weekend. For round 2, Dodd, back-to-back weekends, looking very good. Dodd started second in the Daytona 500, nearly got the pole there. He's on the pole for this race. Dodd looking to start off 2021 with a banger. And alongside of him is the Bang Ford. It's Jake Bassinger. Bassinger is starting in a hole this season. He got penalized 35 drivers and owner points after causing a collision with Dom Capps in the last quarter of the race in the Daytona 500. The officials deemed him responsible for that accident there. And he's starting 24 points to the negative in the standings. So he's 84 points trailing in the championship. The guy that was runner-up in the standings last year has a chip on his shoulder. Bassinger wants to win this afternoon. He's got a fast race car. Some other cars behind him. How about Jordan Fisher starting 4th? Nick Mace from Ace Enterprises. He missed the 500. He'll start 5th today. Fitzwater, Samuel England. They're in row 4. So we have some surprises in the starting lineup. How's the race going to play out? Let's get down to start it. Field gets set and ready to make their pace lap. 150 laps for today. 150 miles, nothing like it was at Daytona. 500 miles all the way down to 150. You have to be able to get your setup dialed in. You only have a couple of attempts to be able to do that. Who is going to be the favorite? There is so many questions to be made for this race for round 2. The championship season really begins right here today. Who is going to pursue the 2021 championship on the outside? You see Bassinger. He was runner-up last year. Could be the favorite, but he is 84 points trailing after only 1 race. And even the guys that failed to qualify, like Nick Mace starting 5th, he's closer to the championship leader. Bassinger looking to prove something. Dodd looking to get a win in a race other than Daytona. The green flag flying. We're racing. Chris Dodd onto the back straightaway. Really not even a straightaway. It's a dog leg that back there in Phoenix. Got a repave. There was grass down there last year. Jesse Tunner in the 17 hooked up on the inside of Chris Dodd. Looking to lead lap 1. He gets it just by a few inches. Jordan Fisher started 4th. He's already kicked up high. Here's Alex Benyako. Nick Mace way down the inside, nearly on the apron. Nick Mace failed to qualify. It was a big upset to not make the Daytona 500. Side by side with Samuel England. England qualified very well in that Red Bull. Battle for second place. Bassinger trying to take it away from Dodd, but he's going to get the run on the high side. Really tough mid-pack. Vince Freeze qualified well, squeezes out the middle. Dylan Young in the 16. There's Charles Sanford. Bobby Jones in the middle. There's Scott Roush in the 0. Some more storylines we didn't really even cover in the pre-race. Is Alexander Rowe and Charlie Smith were injured in a crash on lap 70 in the Daytona 500. Scott Roush in the 0 was not even supposed to be in that ride in the 0 car. And Roush is in the 0 for this race weekend. And Jacob Hart is somewhere. There he is. He's up front in the 05. He was supposed to be in the CM Racing 0 machine for this race weekend. But the Flying Aces Racing Hardy's National Series driver had to make the move over to the 05 to substitute for Alexander Rowe. And he's doing a pretty good job. He qualified very well. That team is hoping for a positive result this afternoon. 5 laps, here's the top 10. It's Jesse Tunner, Jake Bassinger, Chris Dodd, Jordan Fisher, Alex Benyako, Samuel England, then a hornet's nest for about 7th place. DJ Curtis, Dylan Schwellenberg. Curtis slides up the hill. Oh, contact further back. Dejon Weeks is spinning. Big crash in front of Matt Rodriguez, Jeff James, Zach Rogers. Jeffrey Lynn spinning up the racetrack. As Ian Dunn in the 77, he had to use a past champions provisional. Dejon Weeks went up and over. Dejon Weeks could have won the Daytona 500 if a caution flag had not came out and jumbled up the pack again. And Weeks in the 3 car on pit road, he was up and over on the back straight. And Weeks is out of this one. Play of what happened. Looks like John Art in the 3 gets in the back end of Dejon Weeks, spinning him up the racetrack. Bobby Jones collected Hayden Klein, Matt Rodriguez, Nick Kierkeles, Ian Dutta slamming into Dejon Weeks. Weeks took a heck of a ride. And that is not what Dejon Weeks wanted to do. Remember, this is Luke Martin's old race car, that 3 car is. Martin won the championship with his team last year. Weeks was hoping to come into the season and hit the ground running. And Weeks, the only thing he's hit is the concrete on the back straightaway, or really the asphalt. Barreling down the straightaway. No luck for Dejon Weeks. Another view of it. John Art is just going to get in that left rear corner panel, and it's going to spin that Home Depot Chevy around. And then you're going to see a handful of drivers. Bobby Jones was kind of in a no man's land as Weeks slides up the track. Nothing Jones could have done. The 33 is Hannah Allen this race. Allen was lucky to skate by. Hannah Allen, though, or Hayden Klein in the 90, nowhere really he could have went. Luke Martin in the 18 slamming on brakes, trying to miss that. Nick Breeding gets by. Matt DeLeo as well. Daniel Bouchard going up the middle of that, gets very minimal damage in the 25. Then you see the 3 getting slammed on the back straight. And hardly anything any of these drivers could do to miss this accident. Riding on board with Bobby Jones. With last year's champion, Luke Martin. Very wisely, Luke Martin slammed on brakes. And I believe he was really the only one of everyone behind the accident that did that. Very smart driving by the defending champion. Riding on board with Dejon Weeks. Final on board with John Art. This is 3 races in a row that John Art has been in a controversial state with his fellow drivers. You know, he spun Matthew Rodriguez. He was part of the accident that spun Matthew Rodriguez in the championship race. And then he spun Bradley Bishop Jr. to cause the big one at Daytona, the 500. And now he spun Dejon Weeks to cause the big accident early on in the race here in Phoenix. That is 3 straight weeks that John Art has been at the head of a big accident. Only 7 laps in, and everyone is coming down pit road. Nobody is staying out, so expecting everyone to come down pit road, take some tires. Stops actually shaked up a few things. Jesse Tunner is still your race leader. Fisher's up to 2nd, England's 3rd, Benyako, Burton, Curtis, Fitzwater, Lamas, Acosta, Bassinger, and Dodd took a long time on pit road to make some big swings to their race cars. So Jake Bassinger and Chris Dodd, they were not too happy with that run. Even though they were sitting 2nd and 3rd in the race, they decided they were going to stay on pit road, make some bigger swings to their race cars. And so that cost them some time on pit road to make a bigger swing. Put them down in 10th and 13th. Yako in the 8 car. 2019 Hardy's National Series champion. He's to the inside of Jordan Fisher. Fisher Motorsports came with some very good race cars this weekend. Fisher Motorsports Both race cars are in the top 10, looking very competitive. That's good to see out of the Fisher Motorsports stable. But Benyako, what a run he's starting off for his full-time Sony Cup Series gig. He's up to second place early on in this race. Samuel England, second race for his full-time gig in the Red Bull stable in the Cup Series. He's in the top 5. Burton and Curtis for Cybertron Motorsports, they're looking good as well. The Daytona 500 champion, Cody Lamas, trying to make his way to the front. 3 wide with Bassinger, Acosta, and Fitzwater. Fitzwater in the 22 had a good qualifying run, but he's way up top. Nick Mace. Oh, Acosta really overdrove the corner there. Fitzwater had to lift. He's trying to go up the middle. Fitzwater lifts, but they're 3 wide again with Bassinger, Lamas, and Samuel England. But Bassinger's race car is very hooked up. Bassinger, the 97, alongside of Samuel England's number 7 machine. So Jake Bassinger and Chris Dodd, they're starting to make their run back to the front. That 97 and 44 looking pretty quick. Side of the top 10. Dom Caps in the 6. Charles Sanford in the 5. So Sanford in the 5 trying to join his teammate to get up there into the top 10 as he makes his way underneath of Dom Caps. Caps and Vince Freeze in the 55. Running very well in the top 20. Trying to get up there and get in the mix of the top 10 runners. Jacob Hart for Flying Aces Racing in the top 20. This team wasn't really competitive enough to be in the top 20 last year, but Jacob Hart substituting. Oh man, is Eric DeMax running his old teammate of Dylan Schwallenberg up the track. Schwallenberg not having none of it, fighting back. John Hart trying to make his way into the top 20. He's going to make that pass easily on the 10 and the 4. Going to make another big pass on the 05 and the 55. James Shelley, currently 26, working on James Silverfox in the 34. Shelley, deep in the running order early on the race. There's still a lot of time, but James Shelley has a long ways to go in that 71 car to get to where he needs to be running. Burton to the inside of Jordan Fisher. This is a battle for second place. Burton able to take that position away. Eric Burton has not won a race since 2015 at Willow Springs. That has been a long time ago. Over 100 races since that last win. And Burton hoping to finally end that winless drought this season. He's striving for a really quick team. He was so good last year in the second half of the season. Really fought back as a race car driver and really showcased why he's a champion of the series. He's got his eyes set on Alex Benyako, but don't look back now. Chris Dodd and Jake Bassinger are making their way back to the front. And further back has just made a pass on Jacob Hart and Vince Freeze. That 37's been making some good lap times lately and could be a contender. That 37 car, we know that Monster Energy Racing has a really good chassis underneath of them in the long run. And that's when that 37 really shines. When any of the Monster Energy Racing cars, they really shine in the long run. That's what a lot of teams have been talking about in the offseason is how good that MER car is on the long haul. And Griffin working on another race car, looking for 17. Bassinger, Chris Dodd have worked their way around of Jordan Fisher. Fisher drops down to 6. Bassinger and Dodd 4th and 5th for the lead. Jesse Turner has gotten a bit of a gap to Alex Benyako. Benyako trying to keep him honest, but Turner, he's not even under any threat, is he? Jesse Turner, he's just running down the laps and running his own pace. Benyako, then it's Burton. Look how better that Jake Bassinger is. Bassinger is so good. That race car's hooked up to the inside of Eric Burton. Bassinger is going to move his way up to 3rd. Chris Dodd looking to follow him. Dodd looking very good this afternoon. He qualified well on pole, and that car looks like it's got the pace. And this is a year that Dodd really needs to prove himself that he can win races and be competitive on tracks that aren't just super speedways. He's alongside of Burton. DJ Curtis for Cybertron Motorsports, back with that race team that he won a championship with 2 times, actually. Both championships have been won with this race team. This is the same kind of car and scheme that won the championship with him in 2017. Looking to get back to his championship winning ways. Curtis in the 19, second at Daytona, and right now in the top 10 at Phoenix. A very good early start for him. Lamas is 8th, Acosta 9th, and Jeffrey White, the rookie, he's in 10th, with Dylan Young and Nick Mace just outside the top 10. Ryan Griffin has just worked his way around the Red Bulls and the Martin Motorsports car of Dom Capps. Griffin is up to 14th place. John Art also making a good run. Look at how good the corner speed is for Griffin. He just really runs up on that 43 car. I'm telling you, we're going to be talking about Monster Energy Racing this season. That 37 Griffin, with Griffin winning 7 times for Allen Family Racing Team and 2 times at the end of last year. This is a talented race car driver, and I believe Griffin could really showcase some good ability with that 37. He just drives it to the inside of John Arndt. Jay Curtis to the inside of Jordan Fisher. Fisher has the good short run speed, but in the long run, that's when he's struggling. So Fisher and that team going to need to make some adjustments. Jordan Fisher back to 7th. Bassinger has moved his way past Alex Bignacco. Chris Dodd looking to follow him. That's a battle for 3rd. Jake Bassinger looking to draw a nail on his teammate. Rest of the field, 32 laps into this race. It has to be that 17, 97, and 44. They look very good. Bassinger to the inside of Turner. Bassinger looking to take the lead of this race. Jake Bassinger with a chip on his shoulder, wanting to prove to all his doubters that he can win the championship again. I don't think there's really many doubters, is there? Dude won 5 times last year, was undoubtedly one of the best drivers. If he would have not got injured and not got penalized and done what he was supposed to do, Bassinger could have been champion last year if he'd done a few things differently. Bassinger takes the race lead from his teammate. Chris Dodd was really starting to come into his own at the end of last year, and he's really showing it at Phoenix that this could be a turnaround year for Chris Dodd. Side by side with Jesse Turner, but that TPR power really proven to be strong on the moment. Turner and Dodd side by side for 2nd. Round 2 of the season at Phoenix is always very surprising. Round 2 of any season, because we go to Daytona, anything can happen. We go to the next race, and the season really starts here. Well, we're seeing the Turner Performance cars do their thing, run at the front. We have Allen Family Racing Team cars, 2 of them in the top 10. Cybertron Motorsports looks on point with 2 champions behind the wheel. With Burton and Curtis, they're 5th and 6th. Jeffrey White in the 11, which this was DJ Curtis's old race car last year, renumbered to the 11. And White to the inside of Fisher. This is for 7th place. Lamas, his teammate, is there as well in 9th. Curtis Racing looking very good. The 45, one of the Allen Family Racing Team cars. Nick Mace in the 20 is in 11th for Mace Enterprises. Mace Enterprises has made gains forward in the offseason. Nick Mace failed to qualify for the 500, so this is his first start of the season. Griffin in 12th, Young 13th, then it's Sanford and John Art making it the top 15. Then Scott Roush, Dylan Schwellenberg, Dom Capps, Samuel England, James Shelley now entering the top 20s. Joseph Shrigley Racing very much upset to make the Daytona 500 with Charlie Smith behind the wheel. Smith got injured in the Daytona 500, only scored 1 point for the team, which was very disheartening for that team. Was up front near the top 10 after the first pit stop, but Luke Martin was supposed to be in a one-off car. That team decided to fold for this race weekend withdrawal. And Luke Martin behind the wheel, the 18 JSR car. He's in 24th and racing with Fitzwater and Sean Harple. So he's racing with some pretty good fast race cars. And Luke Martin doing JSR proud right now. White to the inside of Eric Burton. He's going to get that position away. That's a spot to get into the top 5. So Jeffrey White on the move. He's made a few passes. So Jeffrey White's looking very good. Eric Burton running right on top of Daniel Bouchard. That is very tight. And he's not making much of an attempt, is he, to try and make a pass. Here comes Curtis to his inside. Jordan Fisher, Cody Lamas, Ryan Acosta just behind. Oh, and Burton is on him. Whoa, sideways is Daniel Bouchard. Not sure why Burton's going to run him over like that. I guess Burton was hoping Bouchard would get out of his line. I guess that was the line Burton wanted to be running in. But anyway, he lost a couple of positions because of that. Ryan Griffin has moved past of Nick Mace and is trying to challenge Ryan Acosta to get inside the top 10. Trying to get past of Jordan Fisher again, trying to get back to 7th place. Cody Lamas just behind. Ryan Griffin has entered the top 10 as he moves his way past of Ryan Acosta. Working on Jesse Turner in the 17. Dodd gives Turner the high side. He doesn't want him to cross under him. And Chris Dodd moves his way past of Jesse Turner. Now that is not an easy feat to do. Chris Dodd passing Jesse Turner. For anybody to be able to challenge Turner like that, Turner is a very good race car driver, but loses out to Chris Dodd as he's up to 2nd place. The team I'm kind of puzzled about is the team that won here last year. Dylan Schwellenberg driving the 10 for Rodriguez Racing. There's John Art coming to pit road, so pit stops are about to happen. But Schwellenberg in the 10, running outside the top 15. And we know that Matthew Rodriguez was involved in the accident early on. He's out of the race in 37th. But Schwellenberg has got to be very disappointed with this pace as he's fixing to come down pit road. Singer has made the dive to come down pit road. We expect that Chris Dodd and the rest of the leaders will also make the move to pit road. So short pitting for Jake Bassinger and the overcut for Chris Dodd, Jesse Turner, Alex Bignacco. Griffin and Fisher hit pit road as well. Bad luck. Not really bad luck, but just things not really going for Dylan Schwellenberg's way. Schwellenberg leaving pit road, got hit by Alex Bignacco, and that's going to be some damage for the 10 now. Nick Mason, the 20, also had some door damage leaving pit road. He had made contact with somebody, and that's going to impact the speed on that 20 car significantly. After pit stops, Jake Bassinger has emerged with a pretty huge lead. Bassinger has 3 seconds on Jesse Turner. You can see it there. Basically half a straightaway on Jesse Turner. And then 3rd place is Jeffrey White. White is up into 3rd. 4th is Alex Bignacco. That damage doesn't look like it's hurting him all too much, but DJ Curtis is looking to the inside of him. Curtis might have actually gotten some damage as well. You see the hood looked like it was buckled there for a moment. Maybe not so. Curtis is in 5th. But Ryan Acosta looking to get into the top 5. He's to the inside of him. And for the championship standings, Curtis, Acosta, Cody Lamas, they're in the top 10. And they were running in the top 10 in the Daytona 500. So this is good points days to start the season if you can get top 10s. Top 10s are going to mean a lot in the championship. Winning races is going to mean a lot now, with winning being 60 points instead of 50. So winning is very important now. Chris Dodd lost out a bit in pit stops. He is down to 8. Griffin and Lamas making up the top 10. For pit stops outside of the top 10, it is Fisher and Mace. Then it is Young, Schwellenberg, Charles Sanford making up the top 15. Scott Roush, Samuel England, James Shelley, Dom Capps, and Luke Martin. Luke Martin for Joseph Shrigley Racing. Very impressive that JSR has Martin in a top 20 spot. Then it is James Sorefox, Zachary Fitzwater, John Art. Art had a bad pit stop. He fell way back. Jacob Hart in the 05. Sean Harple, Kyle Collins, Eric DeMax. Then it's Jeffrey Lynn and Vince Freeze. That is all the cars, 29 cars on the lead lap with 57 laps on the board. Trying to make a comeback. I wonder if that team made another big swing on pit stops. Because when you're on pit stops, when you're pitting for that long, sometimes you make a big swing and you have to take a couple seconds to make a round of adjustments. And Dodd is up to 6th place and is looking to try and make a pass on Alex Bignacco. Teammates race side by side. That's a battle for 7th. But Dodd looking to get into the top 5 once again. Little battle going on back here with Sanford, Roush. Roush driving it to the inside all the way to the bottom. Roush crossing over on Sanford. England there as well. Shelley, this is 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. All racing really hard with each other. Roush, his teammates up there in the top 5, or was at least in the top 5. Chris Dodd's been able to get around him. The 2 Red Bull drivers, teammates. racing side by side. This Red Bull pairing is going to be very interesting to watch. And it's also going to be interesting to watch some of the other teammate battles like James Sorafox and Sean Harple. Sorafox has been able to move in the top 20. Luke Martin sliding back some. Art in the 43, trying to close in on this battle. He's fell a long ways back. His teammate's up there in the top 10. He's outside the top 20, so John Hart has some work to do. Sean Harple to the inside of Martin, trying to get underneath of Fitzwater. Fitzwater's teammate Jordan Fisher fell outside the top 10. Fitzwater needs to make some adjustments on that 22. He's not looking all too well. Jacob Hart giving Flying Aces Racing a solid run right now in 21st. Acosta is absolutely flying. Here he comes to the inside of Jeffrey White. And Ryan Acosta down to the inside, going to take this position away. And Acosta is going to move up into third place. Has ran down Jeffrey White. And White in the 11 seems like he's struggling to have some long run speed. As Ryan Acosta flew right by him, White dropping through the field little by little. And he's going to fall into the clutches of Alex Benyako, Lamas, Burton, Griffin, and Curtis, which they're having a good battle in their own right. Alex Benyako has a challenger. Here comes Lamas to his inside. Burton, Griffin, and then there's Curtis. That's the top 10. And then it's Fisher, Young, and Dylan Schwellenberg trying to make up some positions. Lamas to the inside of the affiliate teammate, CM Racing and Curtis Racing. They work very closely together, but they are going to be fierce rivals on the track for this year, I believe, because they seem very poised to try and go after race wins and challenge for the championship. Both teams hopeful to do the same, and I can see them butting heads on the racetrack this season. Even though they work very well off the track, on the track, them drivers are going to want to win the races and get the most out of every position. Lamas, the 500 champion, to the inside for 6th. It's whatever adjustments the 19 team made on DJ Curtis's pit stop, it might not be working all too well for Curtis, because here comes Jordan Fisher. Fisher is now back into the top 10. Bassinger has lapped up to 20 race cars. He just went by James Sorafox. He's in 21st. And here comes Bassinger coming to pit road. He had made up to a 4-second lead on his teammate Jesse Turner. Bassinger's looking very good this afternoon here in Phoenix. It's going to be tough to try and steal the race from him. Jesse Turner's got a good car. They're basically the same car. And it's going to all come down to driver. Can Turner do anything with Jake Bassinger today? Schwellenberg, and I assume Nick Mace as well, they took damage leaving pit road after the first pit stop, and they were on pit road for quite some time. So Schwellenberg lost a lot of time during pit stops just now. Pit stops for every driver. Here's the field rundown as we close up on 50 laps to go. Bassinger has nearly a 5-second lead on Jesse Turner. A caution flag would be very timely for a lot of contenders. Turner's in second, then it's Acosta third. Fourth is Cody Lamas in the 48. Fifth is Jeffrey White. Then it's Chris Dodd. Alex Benyako to the inside of Eric Burton. That's 7th and 8th. 9th, Ryan Griffin. 10th is DJ Curtis. In 11th is Dylan Young. Then Jordan Fisher's in 12th. Charles Sanford. Samuel England. John Hart. Almost said Ryan Griffin. They're side by side right there for 14th. And that's all. That's all the drivers on the lead lap. So they're fighting to stay on the lead lap. Dom Cap's trying to get that lap back. Scott Roush, Sean Harple, Kyle Collins trying to work their way around Brandon Parsons, but they're trying to keep up with the race leader. Jake Bassinger is putting on a tear with less than 50 laps to go, coming up on it at least. Let's look at the guys outside the top 20, do we? Jacob Hart substituting for Alexander Rowe, doing a decent job, I would say. 21st, Zachary Fitzwater. I'm so confused with names, even though Fitzwater's drove the 22. So many different name changes in different places. And then Luke Martin, 23rd. I'm just very impressed with that run right now. That would be JSR's best finish ever in the Sony Cup Series in 23rd. Eric DeMax not running as good as I would expect him to do, neither with James Shelley. Shelley and Schwellenberg, I believe, were on pit road for extensive period of time trying to repair damage. I believe so. Shelley might be back there on raw pace, actually. Then it's Jeffrey Lynn in the 76. The 20 of Nick Mace was repairing damage, like we mentioned, with Dylan Schwellenberg. He's down in 28. That's a long drop for Nick Mace. It's a shame for him. And then Matt DeLeo, teammate to Luke Martin, is in 29th. Vince Freeze in the 55. Not entirely sure what's happening with him, but he is a long way down in 30th. And then Brandon Parsons, we've seen him earlier. We'll find him. There he is. He's got back end damage. Mason Gordon, Nick Breeding, Daniel Bouchard, Bobby Jones, all on the racetrack, making up the top 35. And that's the only cars left running, but they all have damage with 50 laps to go. Dylan Young has quietly moved his way into the top 10 for this race, working on Alex Bignacco, trying to get 7th place away. DJ Curtis just moved his way past Eric Burton to get up into ninth. But this is the run that Dylan Young would love to start to see. Is a top 10 finish. Could have had a chance to win the Daytona 500. A lot of drivers could have, but he was involved in an accident. The big one, a lot of cars were taken out of that one. A lot of cars got involved in something on pit road. But Young, for round 2, coming in this race hot. 8th place, a top 10 run would be very good for him today. Caps making it 3 wide to the inside of Samuel England. Caps, the leading Martin Motorsports driver. Dom Caps led a lot of laps at Daytona. Had a car that was capable of winning the Great American Race. Could have been the first driver to get 3 Daytona 500 victories ever in the Sony Cup Series. And Caps, side by side with England, having a good run actually back to back. Even though he didn't get the finish he was hoping for in the Daytona 500, a top 15 run would be justice for Martin Motorsports. Kyle Collins for Horizon Group looking pretty sporty as he's trying to get into the top 15. On to the inside of Chris Dodd, this would be a position to move up into 6th place. Dylan Young on the move. He's up to 6th. But surely, Jesse Turner is closing down the leader of Jake Bassinger. So Jake Bassinger has lap car of John Arndt to deal with. Arndt is trying to get his lap back. So if a caution comes out, he could be right there in the mix of things for the win. Arndt's got a good race car. We know about that. Bobby Jones is going to hold up Jake Bassinger. And Arndt gets that lap back. And Bassinger is stuck in traffic. Dirty air kicking in. And Jesse Turner kicking every little second down. He's trying to close in for the lead. Bassinger is really struggling on old tires. Turner is closing. He's a 2.5 seconds behind that 97. Bassinger, the long run lately has not been his best friend. We know he's been short pitting, but it's not been only but like a lap or two after Jesse Turner. So Turner's usually pitting nearly a lap after him, but Turner has closed that gap. But Jesse Turner now has a tall task as he has to clear the lap traffic. Now within a second, 1 second back. Jake Bassinger could be in danger. Less than 30 laps to go. We're going to have one more pit stop to deal with. Kyle Collins trying to get his lap back, and Turner to the inside of Caps. 2 Turner Performance drivers are going to be going head-to-head for the race win this afternoon. Who are you picking between these two? Jake Bassinger, the season 15 champion of the series, the 2015 champion, Jesse Turner. Arguably, both drivers are relatively equal. As far as talent, I would say they're both very good drivers. They both get the most out of their equipment. Turner usually comes out on top in the driver standings. Everyone's pitting. At least some drivers are. Oh, DJ Curtis is on pit road. DJ Curtis short pitted. Curtis did not short pit. Curtis cut a tire. DJ Curtis cut a tire down and had to try and limp back to pit road. DJ Curtis was running in the top 10, but you can see at a cut tire, and that is just devastating for Curtis. Curtis had the devastation of losing the Daytona 500, being runner-up, and now it's a flat tire. That's going to cause him to hang his head. 0.5 seconds is the difference between first and second. When is Jake Bassinger going to make the move to pit road? You don't want to make it too early, but you don't want to make it too late. DJ Curtis, he just pitted for some tires, and his final pit stop of the day, DJ Curtis just did, so he's going to try and get his lap back. You see how much better he is through the corner. And that 19 car going to the inside of Jesse Turner, or at least I thought he was going to. Look how much he's going to run up on Jesse Turner in the corner. Eat him up. John Art's going to pit road. Bassinger stays out another lap. Comes Jake Bassinger is going to come down pit road. The undercut strategy, I think, is going to be the move that pays off to win this race. The undercut usually prevails by such a large margin. The caution flag is out. As soon as I say that, the caution flag flies. An accident on the straightaway. I think Jake Bassinger just made a huge mistake. Possibly there's an accident in turn 3. No cars stuck on the racetrack. But Jesse Turner's going to lead the field back to the flag. Oh, and Matt DeLeo. Matt DeLeo in the 08. He might have been the reason the caution flag is out. Here's the reason why we're under yellow flag. Jacob Hart was trying to get the inside of Bobby Jones, the lap car, and cut in front of Eric DeMax. And Eric DeMax sent him around in turn 3 and 4. And that brought out the yellow flag. Now, Matt DeLeo in the 01, there he is. He runs up on the accident. He doesn't run into anybody. But Matt DeLeo, his engine just randomly lets go down the front straightaway. So Joseph Shrigley Racing, that 01, was running in the top 30, I believe. Yeah, Shrigley, or not Shrigley, that's the Shrigley's car, but DeLeo was running 27th at the time. So that is going to be devastating for them, as they were hopeful of gaining some good points in the owner standings. Here it is, Jesse Turner coming down pit road. Some drivers staying out, not entirely sure who's on the lead lap and who's not. Dylan Young down pit road, Jeffrey White, Chris Dodd, Alex Benyako. Looking for some other contenders. Cody Lamas has got to be on the lead lap, right? I think he might be a lap down. Griffin, Burton, and Fisher on pit road. With less than 20 laps to go, this is going to be exciting to determine the finish here for round 2 at Phoenix. Jesse Turner's your leader over Dylan Young, Chris Dodd, Jeffrey White, Alex Benyako, Ryan Griffin, Eric Burton, Jordan Fisher. Now, you see Jake Bassinger, he's going to lead the field to green with Ryan Acosta. They're 9th and 10th at the tail end of the lead lap, with Cody Lamas and DJ Curtis on the tail end of the lead lap. So Curtis was able to still be in contention for a solid finish. The green flag flies. Going to need to focus on that 17 of Jesse Turner. Jake Bassinger's team, that caution flag fell for the wrong time for them. So Bassinger's chances of a win at Phoenix pretty much gone unless a caution could come out, and it very well might, because things are going to ramp up. Turner leads over Dylan Young, Chris Dodd, Jeffrey White. Oh, and they're very close. Driving very hard, trying to get every position possible. Turner still up top. Whoa, Silver Fox leaning on Turner. Silver Fox very sideways. He's racing with Fitzwater. Curtis in the 19 trying to stay on the lead lap. Look at Young. Look at Dodd. They're getting racing. Young could have got his elbows out. Should have made it 3 wide. He's pinned behind his teammate. But Chris Dodd takes the race lead from Jesse Turner. Turner trying to strike back. Here comes Turner. Gives Dodd a nudge. Gives him a bumper. Moves Dodd out of the way slightly. And Turner's got the inside line. Turner looking to get back at the Hot Wheels Dodge. Dylan Young is still right there. Jeffrey White's on the lead lap in car 11. Dodd's up high. Silver Fox in the way. Jesse Turner looking to get another race win in the Sony Cup Series. Ooh, near contact with Silver Fox. Silver Fox nearly in the way. Oh, and Jeffrey Lynn could be in the way of Chris Dodd. Alex Benyako, Jeffrey White, they're on the inside, still there. Chris Dodd He got that win at Daytona in 2019 for the Daytona 500. He is clear, but can he get the inside? He chooses to stay up high. That might be very costly for him. Here comes Turner, side by side, trying to get a nose out ahead. Sanford in the 5. He's actually a couple laps down as Sanford. He must have pitted when he was already 1 lap down. Turner got around of Chris Dodd. And Dodd, oh, he needs to get to the inside. Jeffrey White, Alex Spignaco, 2 Hardy's National Series drivers running super well. White in the 11, looking to take second. Oh, and Dodd, if he's going to win a Sony Cup Series race on an oval like here at Phoenix, he has to get aggressive. He has to get his elbows out. He has to cut in front of drivers. He has to use the bumper like Jesse Turner did. Turner usually does not use the bumper like that. White overdrives turn 1. It allows Alex Spignaco to get to the inside. Dylan Young's engine has let go. Dylan Young's engine from 5th place has gone up in smoke. Young trying to get the inside. Hannah Allen checks up. Didn't know where he was going to go. Acosta, Bassinger make up the top 10, but Lamas is trying to get back in the top 10. Jesse Turner trying to check out. 2nd place is Chris Dodd in the 44. Then Spignaco in 3rd. Jeffrey White 4th. And Eric Burton now up to 5th. Spignaco has just made a move to get by Chris Dodd. Spignaco is a Hardy's National Series champion. Jeffrey White very close to being a champion in the H&S Series. These Hardy's National Series drivers have shown me today that racing in the Hardy's National Series for a handful of years can get you the experience that you need to be very competitive, and they have really impressed me. White in the 11 to the inside of Chris Dodd. This is for 3rd place. Spignaco and White really showing the Hardy's National Series proud today. Moved up to the Sony Cup Series full time, both of them for the first time this season. Spignaco and White are chasing one of the best in the Sony Cup Series of Jesse Turner. Race for 11th position, Sean Harple and Samuel England. They're doing battle for 11th place. So good on them. Samuel England's got a lot of front end damage. I don't know where that came from, but England surges back ahead, trying to clear Sean Harple. Harple got a top 10 in the Daytona 500. He'd love to get another top 10 to start the season off right in the Twix Ford. But in order to get a top 10, you'll need to get up there with the 97 of Jake Bassinger. And there he is. So Bassinger, he's checked out. And so is Cody Lamas. He's back a lap down again. But the 500 champion is going to take a good solid points day, getting 32 points on the board currently. But Turner opening up the gap on Alex Spignaco. When he comes back to the line, it'll be 5 laps to go. Jordan Fisher, he qualified 4th, and he fell outside the top 10, challenged right there about 10th all day. And Jordan Fisher has gotten to the inside of Eric Burton, and he's trying to get a top 5 finish. He finished top 5 at Charlotte for the season finale last year. And Jordan Fisher trying to carry some of that momentum into this season. And Fisher's to the inside. Looks like he's going to get it. Fisher moving up to 5th place. Spignaco can be very proud of the run he has done today. As he comes back to the line, it'll be 2 laps of racing to go for Spignaco. But Jesse Turner's the man right now. Only a 2.5 seconds behind him. Turner taking 2 laps to go. Spignaco, Jeffrey White in the 11. Jeffrey White's having to come down pit road. White was probably one of the most impressive to me. And that is such a shame for Jeffrey White. We were 2 laps to go, and he had to come down pit road. Is it topping off with fuel? Yes, it is. Luke Martin also topping off with fuel. These guys can't make it. Turner can. The white flag flying. Is anyone else having to come down pit road? Seems, oh, Griffin has to come down pit road. Griffin can't make it. At least he's going to have to top off with fuel. That's a little shocking to me. But it's Jesse Turner out front. Him and his teammate were the class of the field. Bassinger with the wrong strategy call gives the win to Turner. For 7 years in a row, Jesse Turner consecutively grabs a checkered flag. Turner wins at Phoenix. And the running order is going to be jumbled up because some of the lead lap cars, like Ryan Griffin, had to come down pit road for a splash of fuel. I don't know if they expected, I'm not sure what the deal was. They miscalculated the gas that they needed for the end. Some drivers were running out. But luckily for Jesse Turner, he's going to grab the win for this afternoon. Griffin takes the checkered flag. And unofficially, Griffin might be 7th place. Jesse Turner, though, it is for certain. He is the winner today. Congratulations to Jesse Turner on getting his 14th Sony Cup Series checkered flag. That puts him all by himself as the 10th most winningest driver in the Sony Cup Series history. Him and James Sorfox were tied with 13 wins, but after this, Turner has surged up to 10th place in the wins list. Congratulations to Turner. And now that makes 7 years in a row since 2015. Turner has grabbed a checkered flag. Congratulations to him. Alex Bianco did a great job today. 2nd place. And Jeffrey White had to come down pit road and get gas at the end. But he still got 8th place. And that team and driver can be very proud of what they did today. Chris Dodd, I know, is for sure proud. He gets 3rd. Best of the Allen Family Racing Team, boys. Eric Burton carrying over a good momentum from last year. He's 4th for Cybertron. And Jordan Fisher gets a top 5, 5th place. Ryan Acosta, another top 10 to start the season. He's 6th. Ryan Griffin was upside down in Daytona, and it was almost looking like his dream of a top 10 was going to be upside down as well. But Griffin, just like White, able to slide in a top 10, even though they pitted right within 2 laps to go. Cody Lamas, Jake Bassinger, they were strong all day, and strategy just did not play their hand. They tried the undercut, and the undercut bit them, and it cut them up good, and they were done for when the caution flag flew when they were on pit road. However, because Bassinger was on a tear all day long, he put a lot of cars a lap down originally anyway, so there was not that many cars left on the lead lap. They make up the last 2 spots in the top 10, and top 10s in the championship are going to be so important because when you win the race, the points you get for winning the race and the points you get for 10th place is half the points you get for winning the race. And every spot up inside the top 10 gives a little bit more. And it gives a more incentive to finish in the top 10 and higher up in the top 10. So top 10s are going to be so important. And getting the wins like Jesse Turner and Cody Lamas have done is also going to be very key for this season. Congratulations to Turner on getting the win. Let's get you to our finishing results and standings after round 2.